it's good to play such an intellectual game with you, Karen, after sending the magazine off to the printer.
Yes, well, I'm very excited about this issue. I can't wait to see the November-December cover story, where I went out on the streets of Toronto with a Christian mission that reaches out to women who are prostituted. And the writer in Winnipeg and the writer in Vancouver who did the same thing did an awesome job. It was a very long night and incredibly moving, and I just found it really powerful. And on the way home, I was just thinking, how am I going to translate this for our readers to understand what women are going through and just what's happening on our streets. And then 3 days later, I flew to Senegal with Operation Christmas Child, Samaritan's Purse, to view Christmas Shoebox distributions and just understand more what's happening there. And it was just an amazing week.
You traveled with your daughter, right? What was that like?
Oh, it was awesome to have my daughter along, and she's doing some writing about the trip as well, so that was a super experience. And I think for me, I always understood about the shoe boxes because we've always done it. What I didn't know was how the shoe boxes literally act as icebreakers in the community. So they're like opening a door for Samaritan's Purse and their partners to do more development work and more good community stuff. So that was really cool to see. And it was fun to be around the kids, and they're beautiful kids.
I bet.
You know, they're always excited to get cool presents. So I did learn after watching a couple of failed dollar store yo-yos that went down never to come back up again. I thought we need to maybe spend a little more on our shoe boxes. That was my takeaway, but it was an awesome experience. Okay, I'm totally jealous that you got to interview Ron Sider. He's always been kind of a idol to me, I guess, in a way. I remember reading Rich Christians in an Age of Hunger years ago, and just it really impacted how I viewed wealth and our faith, and it just connected dots for me in a way that was pretty profound.
Yeah, it was great. He is so biblical in his message, and when you hear him, you think, yes, everything is falling into place. This is the way the gospel is supposed to be, and I'm so thankful to have had that time with him.
Yeah, cool.
You took a course with him, right? What was the course about, or what?
It was exactly about that, the holistic gospel, and he doesn't try to just come up with a social gospel where we're just feeding the poor. He blends that with evangelism. He wants all of that stuff together. He wants solid theology, solid Bible, all of those things need to be there. That's what the Christian church has to have. And if we could just get a vision for that, it would make a huge difference in the way we expand the kingdom.
That's great. While you were doing that, I was thinking about my Christmas lists. At our family, we exchange names every Christmas, and I always get stumped as to what to give my father-in-law. Every year they ask our family for something like a bunch of chickens or a bunch of goats or something like that, because they say they don't need anything. And then this year I think you had that great idea to put together a one-page summary of all the gift catalogs, charity gift catalogs that our affiliates have. And so now I've got a choice of 4 different kinds of goats, and we'll see what we do with that. But that'll come in very handy. Speaking of Christmas gifts, any suggestions for books in the latest issue? Yeah, there are 2 that I thought, at least that I'm thinking of. One of them sort of looks at marriage and how our society has sort of adopted worldly ideas about what marriage is, and encourages us to go back to and look at biblical ideas of what marriage really should be. And then there's another one that caught my attention, which is a pastor's memoir, basically where he's had a lot of conflict over his career and how he's dealt with that. So some interesting reading, I think. And there's a couple of other ones there as well. The other thing I'm thinking of doing for Christmas is giving away some Faith Today subscriptions. I'm trying to pass along the word to my family that there's this buy one get one free offer and going on for November and December. So hopefully some of them will take advantage of that, and we'll get some more Faith Todays out there being read by people who will send us letters to the editor, and maybe cake in the mail. I don't know.
Cake in the mail. I think it's your turn.